Hi everybody, John Hannon with the Pulsing Cinema. The movie of the day is Oliver Stone's Natural Born Killers from 1994. Man, this is taking me back. This film came out when I was in high school. I was in a little redneck high school in the middle of the Panhandle in Florida, and this came out. And if you were the hip kid, if you were the hip cat kid in the school, you had seen Natural Born Killers. Yeah, all my friends had seen Natural Born Killers, and we all wanted to be like Mickey and Mallory in the film, and not really. Didn't want to be like him, but it was an excessive film, an excessive, just full of bursting with everything that I loved in movies at that point. The stylization, the different use of film formats, the satire, a satire of serial killers, and the way the media at the time distorted and distorted the truth and reality of a situation. The whole Inside Edition parody with the Robert Downey Jr. and all of that stuff. Tom Sizemore, an early performance by Tom Sizemore, who was already kind of going up as the corrupt killer police officer who meets his final showdown with Mickey and Mallory in that incredible final sequence that prison riot, which was shot in a real prison and was just Oliver Stone, Robert Richardson, Tommy Lee Jones, everyone at the top of their power, and a bravura piece of stunts, editing, fire gags, special effects. I mean, everything you could want is in that final sequence, and just a film that's almost too much to take in. At the onset, just a film that's just like overload. It's just the film is like media overload. It's just like imagery after imagery and quick cuts and demons and people with their heads cut off and all kinds of the soundtrack produced by Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails, which I have had to immediately get, was a classic, that the Nine Inch Nails song "Burn" on the track, the music video for that. Oh man, a great film. People accused it of copycat stuff, and of course, when I was in high school, I said earlier that we wanted to be Mickey and Mallory, but no one really wants to. I mean, it's just so stylized. It's not something that you're going to go out and practice. You're not going to go out to the desert and go in green. It's just such a stylized film that young people in the 90s might think would be cool. Of course, serial killers aren't necessarily cool, and people who kill other people aren't necessarily cool, and a lot of the Mickey and Mallory, the stuff they do is not cool, but at the same time, the savage edge to it. You can't help but just going along, you buy the ticket, you take the ride, and also it's Quentin Tarantino, it's got that Quentin Tarantino DNA, though obviously it looks like it was very heavily rewritten and redone and reworked by Oliver Stone and his writers that he brought on. But it's got that Quentin Tarantino DNA, that it's full of killers and savage shit and crazy stuff and extravagance and hysteria that in a normal, realistic context would be very off-putting to most viewers. But you put it in this kind of cartoony, hip context, and it becomes kind of cool. It becomes like something you can watch and go, man, that's fucked up. And so that's what the film is. It's a menagerie of those images, and it's a in some ways a time capsule of the early 90s and the media and Woody Harrelson and all of the people surrounding that film, and Oliver Stone, who was at the height of his powers coming off JFK and those other films, and just this blinding cinematic light that was just in full force here, making what he called, or what people, I think the producers around it called, one of the most expensive experimental films ever made. And it almost pretty much was. I mean, the film is all it goes for the throat. It goes for the. I mean, right from the beginning in that scene with the. That's set to the Leonard Cohen music, and then it goes to Shit List, and in the diner when they're just destroying that entire diner. It was quite impressive. Man, a great film. Came out on VHS, and that VHS had a really bad interview with Robert Downey Jr. I'm talking about the 2-box, the director's cut VHS that Trimark put out, and subsequently put on DVD, and Pioneer put it on Laserdisc. But I'm talking about the two, I bought the VHS, the 2 VHS set that had the interview with Robert Downey Jr. on it, where it was obvious he was under the influence of something, and he seemed really out of it in that interview. That was many years before before Iron Man and the career resurgence of Robert Downey Jr. But in any case, Natural Born Killers, definitely a cool movie.